Hey guys, this is the Electrogord, and bringing you some EVE Online with a trio of friendly duels with my corp leader, SEPH. Here I have a new ship that I took these videos last night. This ship I bought yesterday morning. Anyway, I thought I had a pretty good fit on it, and set it up. And anyway, so one of my corp members wanted to test out his Brutix, which is another Galente battlecruiser. He has it up for tanking, just like mine was. So I said, okay, let's test them out, and see which one's actually a better fit. And did that. So then mentioned it to my corp leader. And I ended up, it was really close. I did end up winning, but not by much. Then my corp leader said, "Hey, okay, that's cool. I want to try. I want to try out my Scorpion." So here, first off, we'll have his Scorpion Navy issue versus my Myrmidon. Now, Scorpion is primarily an electronics warfare ship. It's one of the preferred ships of the of Concord, the police in Caldari area. So his ship is set up with, I think he has some longer range missile launchers. I've seen him hit things at 60 kilometers, so they're made for longer range. And he said he has a smart bomb on it for close up. So we were setting up rules here and decided that we would go with no smart bomb and drone, and we would use drones because smart bomb is not necessary to the functioning of his ship, but drones. Well, the Myrmidon is a drone carrier ship. Let me phrase that. It's not a carrier, but it's a battlecruiser that's primary function is drones. Let's skip ahead here. He should be warping in pretty soon. We decided that we just go into kind of relatively empty space of around near a planet. There he is that purple bar showing up my overview. So we decided that we should go there and then warp within. I'd warp in. He'd join that. He'd warp in within 30 kilometers, and begin from there. So here we go. Locking onto his battleship. His ship's easy to lock onto because it's big. So first off, his ship. I'm not sure what the fit actually is, but he has at least 2 railguns, and I think he has 3 rocket launchers of some kind, missile launchers of some kind. He also, I believe, had a bunch of drones. I think they were Valkyries. And if you look at modules I have on right now, my last couple of E videos have been with some pretty horrible fits. This one, afterwards, I learned how to make a fit. So I have I'm using my afterburner to get up close because you see these missiles coming in. He can hit a long way out with these missiles. My ship's armed with 5 neutron ion blasters. I think they're heavy neutron ion blasters. And they are not very good past 5,000 meters. Phrase that. They're awesome at 5,000 meters, but get past 10,000, they really can't hit very much. So I like to keep that within 5,000, 4,000 meters. I also have a pair of large regolith shield inductors, and a pair of invulnerability field tech 1s. On the low slots, I have a damage control unit, adaptive nano armor hardening module, just because I really didn't have anything else to put on. 2 overdrives, some armor plates, and a weapon upgrade for my blasters. I do have a salvager as my 6th slot, which is not very useful in this point, but it's completely useless at this point. It's only good for salvaging from wrecks. And how we set up the rules is that we would not use smart bombs because that usually gets Concord attention pretty quickly, and we'd fight until we touched the hull. As soon as it started taking hull damage, we'd perfectly stop within 1% of hull damage. So when you have 1% armor left, stop. so you don't take any hull damage. Because when you take hull damage, it does damage your modules as well. The idea here was to not cost us anything except for ammunition. So at this point, I have lost 1/4 of my shields. I can't really see because of how low the definition of preview is. Oh, he's lost almost half his shields already. The outcome of this one really surprised me. I was expecting, ooh, he's got Scorpion. I'm going to be done within a couple seconds here. Something like that. Because I only have a battle cruiser. And it surprised him too. He's like, ooh, I need to redo my fit a bit. And also the fact I found I do have a very good fit on the ship. So he's using some electronic control stuff on me. I'm not quite sure what it is. I don't do much electronic control warfare. Alright, here he's finally starting to use his drones to try to do something. He told me he has his ship set up as a armor tank, actually, which I found kind of odd for a Caldari ship, because usually Caldaris are great shield tanks. That might be part of what happened. I don't know. But this ship is actually a Galente ship, and looking at the skill bonuses, it gives every skill level you get with cruisers gives you better repair efficiency with your repair units. So I was like, okay, so this thing is supposed to be a armor tank, right? Well, I started setting it up and realized that it was very, very difficult to set up as an armor tank. So I just I can get about I don't remember. I got almost a little under 40,000 effective HP as a armor tank. And with this one, I put it as a shield tank with a little bit of more armor support, and managed to get 62,000 effective HP out of it. Here I'm going without the heads-up display just because it looks prettier. And yeah, I think there I just lost my armor ship was. There it is. Alright, so I'm kind of trying to get some cooler shots, just messing around, trying to get to work with the cameras. Or she's still hitting me with that missile launcher, and I don't know. Yeah, so it's kind of neat that Scorpion has the railguns like in the tail and in the claws. I think that makes it look really cool. I don't know. Of course, missiles always seem to come just from the middle of the ship, so no complaint of mine, but whatever, I can't really complain. He's also using a target painter. I don't know why he's using a target painter, but I guess that makes it more easy for him to hit with his other stuff, I guess. I'm not sure. I've never used one before. Yeah, things getting pretty close to done. Oh yeah, there we go. He is missing. He's now down to only 1/5 of his armor. I still have half my shields. And it's just the point where we're like, oh, okay, so, this is a better fit than I thought. He's still using his ECM to try to make, I think it's to make so the turrets don't hit as well. And it looks like that's about it. No, not quite. Alright. Phantom sent me a message there. And anyway, if you've seen Party Phantom in my videos, he's down to, I think, 7% of armor remaining at this point. So basically, I've already won. Let's see. Yeah, I just pulled my drones back and shut off my cannons and said, okay, yep, that's it. He says, alright, now that you've beat up my Scorpion, and it's kind of like, my Scorpion, it's supposed to be a tough ship. And it is a good ship. So it's even a Navy issue, which makes it even better. And also, Multi has an awesome camouflage paint job. But anyway, it's an advanced Scorpion, and he's like, okay, let's go try this again with my Drake. So I'm like, oh, alright, we can try that. Drake, according to some people, the Drake is one of the best player versus player ships. He has missile launchers. Excuse me, and lots of them, and you can set it up pretty well. It's also in the same class as the ship I'm using. I said, okay, sure. Let's try this with his Drake and my Myrmidon. Alright. And so what I did first is I went back to the station just to quickly charge my shields. I don't have a shield booster on my setup. It's probably the only problem with it. But I found that not having a shield booster is actually okay. Actually more effective. At least in PvE, at least against AIs, it's definitely useless to have a shield booster. Even a big ship. Alright, so I just done back from the station. I think he picked the spot this time. Yep, there we go. So the same funny as dueling with another corp member with the Brutix. The Brutix is a good ship, yeah. It's also another Glente battle cruiser. What's funny is I think, in my opinion, the Brutix is really ugly, and that the Myrmidon's pretty cool looking. So the other corp member, he's like, "What are you talking about? The Brutix is really nice looking, and Myrmidon I think is ugly." I'm like, yeah, okay, well, to each his own. All right, I skipped forward here a little bit because it took a while to set up. So I got warping to within 30 kilometers. And Seth's description of my ship is probably the best one I ever heard. He says, "Sir, it looks like an evil seahorse." I'm like, okay. What? It does. It does look like an evil seahorse. So I was trying to figure out how to fit that into its name, but I wasn't able to make a good name with evil seahorse in it. So it is now named the Boomerang, because it looks like a boomerang. I guess. Kind of. I don't know. And it always comes back from a fight. Maybe that's why. Boomerangs always come back, and this always comes back from a fight. Alright, so now I showed up to this Drake, and locked on. We were both deciding to use drones. I think he has either 5 Hobgoblins or 5 Hornet drones. Yeah, so I'm using my heavier drones, my Berserkers and Praetors. I really shouldn't have Praetors. I should just have like Berserkers and Ogres. But whatever, I have some Praetors. They look nice. So I know that his ship is about the same speed, maybe a little bit slower than mine, because I've flown a Drake. I have a Drake. They're nice, but you can't get as much speed out of them as I put on my fitting. I know that. Even with an afterburner, because I have an afterburner. So I know he can hit stuff from 40 kilometers away. His shots do 400 damage per hit, if you can read that. At this point, he decides he's going to turn around and charge me, which probably if he would have kept running, he would have won the fight. But he didn't. So yeah. Notice my blasters really aren't hitting anything because he's too far out. So now he's within... Oh, he's really close now. Too close to hit, effectively. Although, missiles work better at longer ranges than they do at shorter ranges. Except for... on my Drake, whenever I use my Drake, I usually put on heavy assault missiles, which are... only have they only have an 8 kilometer range, which is pretty short. But they do damage fast. And here's the picture on the front of the there's a picture on the beginning of the video. And see that screenshot. Anyway, so at this point I have lost 1/3 of my shields. See if I can read this. He's down to a little over. He has a little bit over half his shields. We're about equal. No, I think he's actually winning. Yeah. I have everything going. I have my damage control unit on, which gives me a lot of resistance, and mostly the hull though. That's what's nice about it, is that it makes it so your hull is a lot more resistant, so you don't like lose your ship very quickly, and it doesn't get expensive as fast. Then I have my apparent vulnerability fields, make it so that my shields are pretty tough, which is really nice to have. So though I don't have as much shields as I put on other rigs, the shields that I have are much more resilient. Here we're following one of my Predators as it's orbiting and attacking SEPH's Drake. There's a couple new camera controls I learned about, but I think I'll use those in the next video. Alright, so... I can now both down to half shields. He's still using his missile launchers that do around 400 per hit. My blasters, if I'm lucky, and my best hit I've ever made with them was about 150 in a hit. Probably more than that. I think it was 170 with one blaster with one hit, but that was like a perfect strike. So usually you don't hit that heavy, but they're pretty powerful at close range. Right here I have my afterburner turned off to save capacitor, so I can keep my barriers up, keep my invulnerability fields up, and also keep my guns running. Because the biggest thing that sucks power is the afterburner, so if I leave that off, it can recharge a bit. Since I don't have a cap booster on this fitting, I don't need it either. Cap booster isn't it sometimes nice for some fittings, but other times it's really useless. And of course, Phantom likes to make fits stable if he can. It's like you got a Sentinel he named it Sentinel. You got a frigate. I forgot what it's called. Wow, Heron. There we go. Heron. How can I forget that? He got a Heron, and he put it on micro warp drive, and it can stay sustained at about 2,000 meters per second. Alright, hang on, back to this. Looks like, yep, he just ran out of armor. I still have not run out of shields. And withdrew my drones and said, okay. Wow, just beat him again. She's like, okay, I'm gonna get my Hunter. So I'm like, Hunter? Like, that's your Hookbill, isn't it? Here's another close-up of his Drake. So the next one is going to be against his Hookbill, which I'll talk more about that later. So here's his Drake. Defeated. Myrmidon victorious. But the next one, he actually ends up beating me. It's kind of funny how he does, though. And there's my fitting. He wants to see, dude, what sort of fitting do you have in this thing? So I also have a couple shield rigs to myself, more shields and some EM resistance specifically. I have two field extenders and one EM field screen. Or EM screen, I don't know what it's called. And that's really effective. Alright, so now I'm warping out to another location, and he's going to drop in within 30 kilometers of me in his Caldari Navy Hookbill, which the Caldari Navy Hookbill is the Navy issue. It's an upgraded version of the Caldari's best frigate, so it's pretty cool. Also looks nice in my opinion. It's considered to be the ugly duckling ship, but I think it still looks pretty cool. So I docked the station to get full cap and full shields again, and I think he said he's ready to go. So, pulling out a warp here, and ready to go. So in the last two, I was the fastest ship. and most agile ship. And this one, he's got a frigate, so he's obviously going to be a lot more agile than me. So, yeah. He said he's going to hot drop in. He's like, went in too close. I'm going to be at 20 kilometers. And I'm like, okay. So anyway, I ended up moving around. It started out at about 10 kilometers. If he had started at about 30 kilometers, I might have ended up a little differently, so I would be able to get some cleaner shots off. Mostly because the tracking speed of my turrets can't keep up with the speed of his ship. Since I think he has an afterburner and was doing definitely doing over a kilometer per second sustained. His little ship, that's my big ship. There is a camera following his little ship, which I still think it's a pretty cool looking ship in a way. I also decided, I realized, I gotta be careful because he doesn't have nearly as much hull strength, so I have to turn off my guns really fast if I do manage to hit him. Alright, there he is approaching me, and notice his ship is very small compared to mine. And the battle begins, with me missing repeatedly. I think I only managed to wing him once, and just wing. So although he has only frigate class weapons, he don't really do much to my shields. My weapons can't even hit him. So we decided that we'd go no drones because drones versus a frigate would just be too powerful, too much of an advantage for me. And also he'd probably have to kill the drones, which I didn't want to have happen because I don't know, that'd be expensive. And also the fact that the Hookbill doesn't carry drones, so drones would be an unfair advantage. Although if I had drones, I would probably have changed things up a little bit. Although I'm pretty confident that he probably still would have taken them all out. This is like his ship, probably his best ship. Usually, what's funny is he got an orca recently, and he's like, okay guys, you want to go ratting, which is hunting down pirates, and like, okay. It's like, okay, I'm bringing the orca. I'm like, what? Orca can't even mount a gun. So he says, yeah, okay, yeah, just warp me in. So okay, and shows up. Like, okay, I start firing away, and then realize that the orca isn't purple anymore. It's labeled as green, so it's unoccupied, or not a fleet member. And I'm like, okay, so it's like boom, purple bar shows up, SEPH, and he's got his hookbill. So he's using it in the corporate hangar bay, not the corporate hangar, the maintenance bay. So that's kind of funny. He's just bouncing around using his hookbill and using his Drake and whatnot. Alright, coming up here, I'm just going to fast forward it because this just dragged on for a really long time. Mostly because I couldn't hit him and he did not have enough firepower to really hit me. So it's kind of a standstill. Although he's slowly nibbling away at my shields. So that was Phantom calling again because whatever. Alright, so you see a lot of popping fireballs as he's firing rockets. And at this point we're like, yeah, this is going to take forever. So we're like, yeah, I think that's looking at things like, okay, he's got 20,000 more rockets in his cargo hold, and well, I can't hit him at all. Which we decided meant that he definitely won. So he gets his victory lap, I guess, as he's orbiting around my ship. So yeah, I find it kind of humorous that I'll take down a battlecruiser and a battleship, no problem, but frigate wins. He also liked that too, because frigates are kind of fun. I don't know. It's kind of always fun to see funny to see a really tiny ship take on a big ship and win. Also, I was gonna say one of the best videos for a PvP video. But this was a fight that wasn't like rigged or anything. But there was a guy in a transport took on a battleship, the Glente faction battleship, and managed to kill it with his transport. But that's another story for another time in someone else's video. So I'm just gonna wrap it up here. Yeah. So that's about it. See you next time. This has been Electric Gordon. Thanks for watching EVE Online Friendly Duels. I hope to have some actual PvP stuff, but maybe not. Maybe there's more PvE stuff. Because PvP does get kind of risky. And besides that, you lower your security rating. But we might end up with some more duel videos because they're pretty fun. And for just testing outfits and stuff. Alright, this has been Electric Gordon. I will see you later.